Hi everybody, hope you're well. This video is requested by missHappy. In this video I'm going to be talking about how to buy the right skiller, knowing whether it's a winning one, whether it's defective in any way, and if it's what you're basically getting, what you're paying for. And there's a couple of things that we will look at, so I'm going to be talking in terms if you're a regular player or if you're somebody with VIP or Pegasus. Now I am going to talk about buying pre-skilled skillers and also buying skillers that haven't yet been skilled. So we'll start off with talking about ones that have previously been skilled. So I've just gone into the sales here and I've just clicked sort by skills. Now I've got a horse in here at the moment that I'm selling, right? Now, if I, for example, had in that horse's name right now that this horse was the number one horse on the game, okay? This is occasionally where you will see people giving away that the horse isn't what they say it is. So we can say that just pretend that this is called the best horse in the game. We can go to click for ranking for breed, and we can see it's 27th in its breed. So what happens if we click all breeds? Well, we can see that it's definitely not the number one in all of the horses on the game because it's not there. So that's one of the first things to look out for, is horses that have been named something. One of the biggest things that I usually see is people naming horses that say that this horse won the Grand Prix. But the thing is, that horse might have won the Grand Prix 2 years ago, which I often quite say is a horse that has won the Grand Prix years ago and it's very low in skills compared to some of the current ones. So obviously you would need to know, okay, that horse is not going to win now, because it's too low compared to some of the new ones. So that's one of the easiest ways to identify to start with, because some people will put stuff in the names. Now sometimes they just do it because they don't know any better, and some people do it because they genuinely are trying to give misinformation and promise things that the horse can't do. So it's just to be aware of that and to keep that in mind whenever you're buying. So that's one of the first things you can do to check out. If you're a regular player or a VIP or a Pegasus account holder, you need to know your stuff. If you're going to buy horses, you need to make sure that you know what you're looking for. So I do have a video about the essentials of skilling, and I do have a video about Herapack and tier and Herapack breeding foals. So the reason those are important is because know what is essential to have it as a proper skiller, and secondly, to know that your foal has been bred correctly with tiers and Herapack and with 100 block parents, because a lot of the time you will get people who will breed horses with tiers or Herapack and have not used 100 block parents, and then you get a foal that isn't as good as it could have been. So those are some of the things to definitely go and look at, is make sure you're well educated on what a proper winning skiller should look like, what it should have as its skills and so forth, what items it should have on it, what bonuses, and that will go a long way in helping you make the right choices about what skillers you buy. So one of the benefits now, if you are somebody with VIP or with Pegasus account, is this perk. And the perk is basically access a detailed sheet showing your horse's skill progression as well as the horses on sale. Why is this so important? Well, the reason for this is, if we go to horses here, I'm just going to click on one of the horses that I own. It's this little button here that says view the details. So we click on that. There's a couple of things that I can immediately hone in on, right? The games weren't completed correctly. So if you were buying a skiller and you clicked on one of the ones in the sales, which I'll show you just quickly for the sake of it, we'll just go in here and we'll just click on any random horse and view the details. So you can quickly go in there if you're a VIP or a Pegasus account holder and see these, okay? So if we go back to my own horse, the first thing we can see there is, okay, the games weren't correctly done, so that wouldn't be any use if it was a skiller. It's not necessarily that it wouldn't be any use, but if you were buying something that was supposed to win and it hadn't got all the games done, that's a little bit concerning. Rides, training, and the competitions and rides on the beach, these are things that can be done when the horse is older, so those don't matter as much. But games, innate skills, and missions, so the lessons, these are the three that you need to make sure they're on point, because you can't get those back. Once those times pass, that's it. You only can get the innate skills whenever you breed with, you breed with the correct things, such as the tiers or the Herapack and the 100 block parents, to get the best possible innate skills. You will still get innate skills without having to use those items, but they won't be as good. And games, you can only do games between a certain period of time when your foal's quite young, so you want to make sure that those have been done correctly. And missions, if you miss missions and lessons, and if you've watched my skilling videos, you've seen me do it, you need to make sure that those are there correctly, and I will go back to that at some point. Now, this is one of the other big things, the health penalty. So when you train your mare or you have her go on rides or enter competitions, is she not 100% health? Now, some people have a VIP perk which stops this health penalty from being incurred. Not everybody does. She will earn fewer skill points than when she was at full health. If her health had always been 100% during training sessions, rides and competitions, your mare would have earned 14 additional skill points, including, and then it says where she's lost them. So a health penalty, when a health penalty is incurred, those skills can never be gained back. They're lost forever. So avoiding skillers with health penalties is definitely, something to do. So what I'm going to quickly do is I'm going to go back to the sales and I'm going to quickly look at my skiller here and talk you through a few things. So if you have VIP or Pegasus, and you can go in and view the skills. Okay, here's a couple of things to look at. So we can see that this horse had all the 60 skills gained to 100%. So there we go, that's good. The rides and the training and the competitions, the rides and the beats were all done to 100%. You can see that there's no health penalty below here. So that's a good thing. It means it hasn't incurred a penalty. And the missions, if a horse was skilled correctly at a 60 EC with a water of youth between 2 years and 25, and it's had a piece of cloud or 20 pieces of cloud used on it or a pock pack, it should have 178.50 skills. Okay, if it's been done right. If it's a draft, that's going to be more, but I'm not worrying about drafts in this. I'm just talking about regular skillers. That's what you want to see. You want to make sure that this total is 178.50. So that means that no lessons were missed on this horse. Now, if it was lower than that, then there's been lessons missed there. So those are some of the things. Now, one of the problems is how do you tell if a horse wasn't bred with a 100 clearance, wasn't bred with tears or a hair pack? This can be a bit trickier, but there is ways to look at that. So definitely go and check out the video that I did about breeding skiller foals, because I do sort of talk about that, and you'll get a better idea of things to look out for, because you can work out roughly. The problem is I can't give you a definite answer on innate skills, because whenever you breed, I could have the same mare and the same stallion, both 100 blup, and I could breed 10 foals with a hair pack or tears. All those foals will have slightly different skills, but they will always be within a certain range. So if you can still do the calculations and work out what the foals roughly should have been, then you can usually pinpoint whether a horse was bred with tears or not, because you're getting 50% extra skills whenever a hair pack or tears is used. So you're usually going to be able to tell if it was bred with them. But obviously, if the blup wasn't 100%, then that also can be, can reduce it as well. So you need to definitely educate yourself on that. But definitely, if you VIP or Pegasus, it is a lot easier on yourself being able to go in here and have a look at the detailed view of this. But those are just some of the things to check out and see whether you've got a defective horse or not. Now, talking about horses that haven't been skilled already, this can be a little bit more tricky. So what I'm going to just quickly do, I'm just going to search geldings, and I'm going to search genetics. So sometimes you'll go in to buy horses that haven't already been skilled. So these will be horses that are sold as skillers. They don't have any items on them. They've just, they're in there for you to buy and skill. Now, one of the things to be very aware of when you're doing this is obviously to go in and actually check out the horses like you would with any other ones. So I just go in here and click on view the details. So obviously going in and make sure the games were done correctly. That's one of the things you want to definitely work out, and obviously going and having a look and working out the innate skills. Don't be afraid to message them and ask. Obviously people can lie, so do be aware of that. Not everybody's going to, but generally my advice is if you're going to buy a horse that is not skilled, buy it off a team with a good reputation. Buy it off a team who definitely has. I'm not in any way saying that some people out there who sell them privately or individuals that they have an inferior product. They don't. It's just sometimes you're better going to somebody that you can be sure that knows what they're doing. Now, not all teams know what they're doing at the same time, so you need to make sure that when you go to buy, definitely have a look and see how their horses are placed in the Grand Prix overall, where are they placing in the rankings and so forth. Look at those sort of things and figure out who's winning and why they're winning, because it'll go a long way in helping educate you about who's, which one you should be buying if you're looking to buy the high quality product. in that term. So this is what I'm kind of talking about, is making sure you're buying the one that is at the standard that you want. If you don't necessarily want to buy the one at that particular stand and you're happy enough with the sort of a middle in one or something like that, or just one that suits your needs, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just making sure that you get what you pay for and knowing that you're happy with what you've got. So definitely, I did talk about, and there's a video I did about skiller policies. Definitely have a look at that, because you will sometimes, a lot of teams who sell skillers regularly will have skiller policies. You can have a read to their skiller policies, or maybe ask them about their skiller policies, so you can figure out whether they do know what they're doing, you know, whether they're breeding them with tiers, making sure that they've done the full games correctly, and so forth. That will go a long way in helping, but definitely you need to make sure that you know all the basic stuff, you know, to be able to do that. Now, in terms of making sure that you're buying a winning one, sometimes, and this is the thing, a lot of people have to pre-book them, have to go to teams and pre-book winners, so it's very hard to just buy one out of sales that's going to win, unless some teams do that. But you need to definitely go and have a look at those individual teams or individuals and see in that respect. So thank you very, very much to missHappy for requesting this video, and I hope you have a lovely day.